Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hello.
We are back covering Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 15. I am joined by Dr.
Right.
Jatia Hart Taylor. What's up?
Nothing much. Yes, this is the triple five episode of season 8, and we are here to get straight into it.
Yes, we are recording right after the episode to just get Dr. Jatia just put her children to sleep. So if we have on our nighttime,
Our sexy voices. It's
our
because my kids,
quiet voice.
we don't want neither child to come up in here. So yes, we are trying to just like you watch it. I know the mommies be watching it, with the subtitles on. So everybody don't hear all the fussing and fighting. That's how I was doing it tonight. But we come into you. We're still in the Dominican Republic, so I hope you guys are not too bothered by the heat. But it is hot. We are with the cast, and we are here jumping in back on day 2 of the trip.
Because I'm just trying to figure out what was the conversation being had when I walked up on you. Okay.
Correct. So we're on the beach, and last episode they just left us off right there on the cliff, on the precipice, right? And Miss Wendy slinks on over, and she hears, some chitter chatter going on, and she's like, "Hey, what are you guys? What is the conversation that is being had?" So that's what she wants to know. What's the conversation that's being had? And so we get some,
Well, she asked Giselle directly. And so although I am a green-eyed bandit, these are the moments in which Giselle gets on my nerves. Anytime it's like confrontation, especially like at the reunions or head to head with anyone other than Karen, it seems like Giselle just
shuts
shut
down.
shuts down, and it's like, no, sis, like, stand your ground, speak your piece.
Well,
But
where's her bodyguard geez, like to just, block. I mean, that's just her thing. She don't like to engage like that. So, finally, Robin, takes her long stick out to stir the pot and to be very upfront and tell Wendy what they were talking about how she saw her and her buddy Candy Ice making faces when Giselle was talking about Sweet Grace.
and Wendy and Candace make it clear that they don't like Giselle, but when it comes to the children, they'll leave it out. Wendy even says that because Giselle has weaponized Grace against Wendy, and they flash back to when Giselle's driveway wasn't
So,
done, and that kind of sort of pissed me off a little bit because I'm like,
so no,
nah,
I want to ask you, did you think the look that Wendy gave Grace was stank?
I did.
Oh,
This is the reason why I say that, right? Like, I've been around your children. I've been around my other friends' children, and there is never a time, and there have been plenty of times that I have been in your home, sitting on your couch, sitting in the guest bed, and Harry and Ashna have walked by, and I don't know what they got on because Jatia gives they kids freedom to express themselves in any way, shape, or
correct.
form, and never
Would you eyeball them up and
would
down?
I like it, just never. Now, mind you, if I didn't like you and I didn't like your kids and they walked by, I would give them that stank look. So it's like let's just call a thing a thing. And so I just didn't like when Wendy was like, when you weaponized Grace against me. No, sis, she called you out.
Yeah, she did. She gave her a stank look. And yeah. And also, if you think my child something wrong with my child, just bring it up to me. Like if you care that much and you got to eyeball her and be like, and do all this 3D modeling of my child and what you got on or whatever. Yeah, she did. She gave her a stank look. What pushed it over for me was that I rewound that part a couple times and I looked at everybody else's face and then I looked at Wendy's and I was like, Wendy's face is distinctly different from what everybody else is doing. One of these things is not like the others.
Yeah. So that was that. And then, of course, Candace said that, like, of course, she disdains Giselle and she has nothing to do with Giselle. But when it comes to kids, they leave it out of it. And so what I feel like in this confrontation, I really feel like Wendy and Candace got the best of Giselle because they spoke their piece. I feel like Giselle not speaking her piece, it was a little frustrating. And then, of course, in Giselle's confessional, she says she's upset with Karen. because Karen,
didn't
you
come
know
to her defense. Like she felt like Karen should have come to her defense, especially I can see where what she's saying about especially because of the relationship that Raven and Grace have had, and kind of this camaraderie they've had, and putting them together before Grace went off to college and all that sort of thing. But then again, yeah, Giselle, you a grown woman,
so
so
right. So speak your piece. However, I do feel like I don't feel like Giselle's message to Karen was have my back. I think Giselle's message to Karen was if you want to be the grand dame, if you want to be friends with everybody, then draw the line and say, hey, I don't know if they've made
call
negative.
somebody out when they wrong. Basically, that's what she's saying. Like, okay, you were always talking about how marriages are off limits and how children. Then why don't you step up and say, children are off limits? No, you just let them yada yada yada. And your comeback for me is like, oh, it's your problem. You need to deal with it.
Mm,
That's not very grand dame like. That's not
not
very. That's uh-uh.
not at all. And so then we learned that Ashley had a birthday over the summer, Havana Nights. But if y'all remember back in the summertime when the air quality was bad, it was definitely bad in Philadelphia, it was bad in Potomac. So they canceled Ashley's dinner
Yes.
last summer. And
Right. It
so
was
they,
not a hazy Havana night. So they just said, for the sake, for out of abundance of caution, we're gonna, cancel it. But I love that they packed their hoochie outfits and wore them to dinner. And in the words of Giselle, it was what, Havana night?
uh, I like Giselle's outfit now.
I thought
Again,
it was cute, actually. Me too.
I
I
am
don't usually give her the credit.
right. I don't normally give her outfit credits, but I will defend her when they say she don't have no style. But I really did appreciate her style. I thought now I
I
don't want
didn't
to be.
like a lot of the other
So
outfits.
I liked a lot of the other outfits. I didn't like Wendy's outfit. I
Me
felt like
either. That
I
that was the
saw
green like
and the
tube
head
top.
wrap, and I saw
Yeah,
what Wendy is going for. Now, mind you, y'all can say what y'all want about how I feel about Wendy, but 9 times out of 10, I give Wendy her fashion styles. But
yeah,
the Havana Night birthday outfit
was
just
a bust.
it wasn't doing it for me. And so we're all sitting down to dinner, and Karen brings up, Karen wants to stir the pot, and Karen says, like, she didn't really like the way that Robin and Candace left things off. And is there a path to somehow getting on the same page? Robin essentially says,
No, that's what she said.
right,
No.
no, like she attacks me. She says that I was a part of some mastermind plot to take down her husband to hide the infidelity of my husband. But if that is the truth, then why last season would I be coming to her defense? Cues Bravo, showing the multiple times that Robin has stood up for Candace in front of her and behind her. And Robin says essentially, if I knew that this was the position that Candace would take, I wish I never stood up for her.
Yes, and also Candace had opportunity to dial it back, and what did she do? Like she does, double down on her mess. So like all they could move forward if Candace would just have some sort of accountability, which is funny because then Candace, they always flash back to her standing up, Robin standing up saying, hold me accountable, which I think is really interesting because I don't know, like, what do you want for her? She is not going to own up to it. But yeah, so no, there's no path forward. The door is closed on that one solidly.
The door is closed. Then the next day, we're getting ready to go out for another excursion, and Giselle calls Karen to the pool to again talk about this. You not standing up for me, or not like if you want to play the middle, then play the middle, but like draw a line. And so for me, what this reminded me of was I want to say maybe season 4 with Monique and Candace. Do you remember when they got into that physical
Mhm,
altercation and
mhm.
Karen was kind of in the middle because Karen was like, godmother to Candace and super good friend to Monique. And so it's like, it's interesting because this isn't the first time that Karen has been in a position like this where it's like she plays the middle and doesn't necessarily take
No,
a
she's the
side.
fence.
She's the fence.
Yeah.
But and her defense to the fence is I'm the fence.
Well, yeah, you know what? It was very interesting to me because this came up later that Mia called her out and was like, "Yeah, when you're around, you're not being neutral. You're not being the fence or being in the middle. You're actually meaner when Wendy and Candace are around in the group. Like you got to somehow kind of boss up." I agree with her.
I mean, I do agree, but I also feel like that's Housewife 101.
I don't know. Like it seems
I
to me
mean,
that she is leaning towards Candace and Wendy and being on their side of things. So it's kind of interesting to me.
it is because I feel like Karen's loyalty, this season is with Candace and Wendy. However, Karen understands how the show works and how scenes work and how your contract is set up to be in the scene and who you film with. So it's like, the grand dame will sit down with anybody. And that but I do appreciate that about Karen, is that she's willing to move forward. She doesn't like,
She
you know,
willing to fight another day. Like it's
she might give you a handshake and not a hug, but she is
but she'll
there.
film with you. She'll film
Mhm.
with you.
So
So
after we go see castles, or after Giselle and Karen had that conversation, we go see like some castles in the DR, and then there is this lunch afterwards, and
I don't even
they
know where to start with this lunch. It's
I
like
so I don't even really know how we got here,
I don't know
but
why we're here. I think we're lost. We're lost. We were supposed to be at the castle, and now we're here, and all kind of
and
little
and, Ka-
tidbits
and Karen is talking about this trainer that
that
because
is
of
not a trainer.
that
So
is
that is
not.
what's funny. That. Let's all remember this. This trainer is not a trainer. This trainer is an ex NFL, very fine, well put together football player named Vernon Davis.
Okay, and
Hello, I remember him. He was hot when yeah, I remember Vernon Davis now. Okay, hello Vernon. So she's like trying to get in shape. She has a 5% blockage in her carotid artery, and she needs to be healthier, even though she looks really good for triple 20. All of these thoughts just start, just coming out at the table. And then this little linkage tidbit, she tells everybody who her trainer is.
but
Yeah, Vernon.
not even tells everybody who her trainer is. She's got photos of him.
Yes, not
Now we
like
know Karen liked to screenshot a photo in her phone. You better ask Robin, Robin
so.
Dixon.
So we come to find out that it's not a trainer; it is Vernon Davis. And everybody, and basically, she is trying to brag. She's trying to name drop, and she tries to drop the name on Ashley's foot. And Ashley's like, "Oh yes, I know him.
I know him.
I
Now,
know him."
for me, what was so interesting about this scene is when the table starts questioning Ashley about how do you know Vernon, she has to go to the bathroom. But if you've watched this scene or you're about to watch this episode, get into Karen's facial expressions
Baby, she
during
was
this
hurt.
time.
She was hurt. She was confused. She had so many emotions running through her face. It was just like, and then what I just loved about it is that Ashley actually knows him through Karen. She was like, yeah, I met him, and then I saw him again at Karen's party. So Karen out here, running, showing off her man meat. And actually, Ashley is maybe eating from that dish already. They're at least sliding into each other's DMs on Insta. And so I just thought this was hilarious. And I also love that even though Ashley had to go back to the bathroom, the ladies were ready when she came back to pursue the same line of questioning. Like, no, 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 the bathroom break is not going to get you out of this. So I thought that was the juiciest little tidbit that we got out of this episode. But also this conversation, we name drop, we find out some deets about this. Karen is upset, and I ate up. This was the best scene for me by
Mhm.
far of the whole episode.
And some of the ladies were trying to do the math on, when we played the game last episode, and Ashley said that the last time that she had an intimate moment was a couple of months ago. They were trying to put all of the things together.
Look, like
Uh,
like trying to figure out Mia age. It was like one carry the two, all of this. So
and so, again, w- this Vernon thing is still in question mark. Candace and Robin are still in question mark. All the issues are on the table, but that's essentially it. And then I guess some more excursions, a different day. We've got tennis, where it is Karen, Candace, Mia, and Wendy. And at the shooting range, we have Giselle, Robin, Ashley, NECA, and Kiarna. And
Kiana.
Kiarna, she might have been considered for a housewife, but she is just a friend of the show. But Kiarna clocked in this episode. And
Correct. She's
so,
like, and I'm working. Hello, hi. This is the Karen show. So that whole little thing, like it was, she was trying to give her an opinion, and she did give a very interesting
but be
take at lunch.
be clear though, right? Giselle asked Kiarna, like Kiarna just didn't volunteer information. Giselle asked Kiarna while they were shooting. Giselle was like, "So you're Wendy's friend, like, do you feel like she's been warm to you guys? Do you like what was the tea that Wendy was sharing with you about us?" And I appreciated Kiarna because she didn't say Wendy said anything, right? She
But she
said
said that she caught the shade.
she caught the shade, but catching the shade is different than being like, she said this, and this about you. So it's like, I appreciated that. And so Kiarna's take on it was like, she caught the shade between Giselle and Wendy, not necessarily a big thing. What Kiarna felt was a bigger overarching issue was Wendy and Nneka. Now, I
Mhm.
was trying to figure out, did I miss something? Because I didn't feel like Kiarna said anything negative about Wendy or Nneka. Like, I think the only
No,
thing
but NECA wanted her to shut the heck up. That's all it was. NECA wanted to have the
and
last word. NECA is like, girl, you are newer than I am. So don't come in here trying to backtrack and recap so you can get some airtime. And basically, NECA wanted to have the last word. She wanted the little girl to shut up, and the girl wouldn't. So then they started bickering about stuff. And I didn't even, I was with Giselle. I don't even understand what y'all are like talking about. Let's move on. No, let's move on. Let's move on. So they were
but
just back and forth trying to have the last word.
I was confused as to Nneka's energy to Kiarna because I felt like Kiarna was essentially saying, like, with Nneka and Wendy, their beef is bigger than Giselle and Wendy because it's cultural differences. And Nneka's energy to Kiarna for me was like, I didn't like it. Now, mind you, I'm not the biggest fan of Kiarna because we've only met her this episode, but for me, it just it had.
I appreciate that NECA was willing to man up a little bit, because like she felt like the other girl was trying to threaten her or her position in some way, but I don't think she was. I don't think she was. But I like to see a little fight in NECA. I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna lie.
yeah, so do I, but I just again, it just has me
It
rethinking
wasn't
my
aimed in the right place, I
it
don't think.
wasn't. Take your
So
energy out somewhere else. I didn't love it. For me, it just made this had me questioning a lot of like how I feel about NECA a little bit because I just feel like this energy that you throwing at this girl that for no reason, little
you
weird.
could have been thrown at somebody else who you had a reason, but
Then
you weren't.
it makes me feel like the energy that you're throwing at Wendy, right? Like how much of it is unwarranted? You know what I mean? Like I just felt like her barometer for Kiarna in this situation was like, girl, I was rocking
I
with
think
you.
she was off to come at Karen the way she did, but everybody has a bad day. Cause she surely don't be flapping jack like that at Wendy. She don't.
Well,
She
I
don't
mean,
come
she
hard at Wendy.
did at the Grand Dame's pickleball.
I
That's
still don't think it was quite the same energy.
I
I think
mean,
she came harder at Kay.
she said, I mean, she says your mom's a witch and you're a I mean,
That's true now. So yeah. But anyway, so they finally do actually decide to move on. And then again, who comes up? Vernon. Hello, hi, it's Vernon again. So we have a little combo about Ashley and Vernon, and she admits to not much else. We flirt, we talk. Here's I she showed them some of the DMs she was scrolling. She didn't stop on any of them.
she
You
just
know, she just
went on
scrolling.
up.
We didn't even see what the emojis, no eggplants, no, kitty cat with wet drops, nothing like that. We didn't see any of those things. Maybe, maybe not. So I thought it was very interesting that she was being vague. And again, they brought Vernon up. Vernon was like, I don't know why Vernon didn't get some money for this
I
episode because
mean,
he was all over it. Like, I don't know, maybe is he a guest star or something like
I
that?
mean, I mean, I want to work my inner thighs out too, so I might have to reach out
What?
to Vernon.
What?
The conversation back at tennis was Ash when Mia was bringing up to the ladies. Again, Mia is clocking in this episode as well. Doesn't matter what group she is in, it's clearly that Mia can go from either side and still be Mia. She's asking the ladies what they think about Ashley and her not getting a divorce. And Mia is very adamant that she feels like Ashley may have
No,
married.
no. She says Ashley's a gold digger. That's the exact word she used. And I just thought it was very interesting because that came back to kick her right on in the booty, honey.
But I mean, but it didn't though, because in true Mia fashion,
She owned up.
she owned it. But also while we were at tennis, we also learned that Mia may or may not have had
Have a foot
clientele,
only fan, a foot
a
fan.
foot only fan, or men that have foot fetishes have paid to see
Oh,
Mia's.
put no, pay Mia to put her foot on their chest. I thought that was very specific. Thank you for painting that picture. No, not on OnlyFans. You actually putting your foot in real life, IRL, on people's chest. So I thought that was like, I was like, okay, all right. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I also thought it was very interesting. Like, as we are, I guess, getting ready for the last dinner, we get to see some of the ladies getting ready. Ashley is on the phone with Michael Darby and her children, and Michael is showing Ashley the kids. Ashley lets Michael know that just FYI, we're filming. Michael's turned that camera. Boo! Listen,
He
if
was
you're
like,
watching,
he was
uh,
like, new phone, who this? He was like,
listen, Michael Darby said, Ashley said, they're filming.
yes. I thought that was hilarious. He was
Uh,
like, I want no parts of that. None.
Ashley also shares with us that Michael has expressed to Ashley that he wants no part of filming. And if he is caught on film, he is going to sue Bravo. Now, we know his
And her.
record and her. Now,
Mhm.
I guess, but if he is suing her, that would be him suing himself. But his
We'll get to
records
that
with
part. Hold on, we ain't there.
Bravo's lawsuits are Michael Darby 0, Candace Bassett 1. So, he ain't that good with restaurants and he's not that good with lawsuits.
No, look, I have no comment because I don't want that smoke. I ain't trying to respond to no petition. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, okay. So he's trying to protect himself. He has not had a good track record with this show, so I totally
Not
get it.
at all. I mean, every season he has been on, there's been some type of scandal, whether it is he would Juan Dixon's, whether it is him on hidden camera, squeeze it.
Or showing pictures of him in a hotel room. Remember
On
that?
Grinder. Oh, girl, I remember that. Like, it's just been. Or I feel like when we met Ashley first season, I felt like she was saying how her and Michael had an open relationship. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah, no,
making
she
that.
said that. She said that they used to, like, I guess, swing. I don't know what the term. I have no idea what any of that is. But yeah, that they have arrangements, yada, some, and then now that she became a mother, she was didn't want to do those things anymore. So they had changed some of the dynamic in their relationship because it used to be cool, but it ain't cool now. So what is interesting about this is that now we are back at lunch. These ladies have to eat,
It's dinner, the final
Yeah,
dinner, not
yeah.
lunch. Because
Sorry, my
that's
bad.
all DR been is
It's
activity and eating.
right. So these ladies, have to keep their energy up. So they're at the final dinner. Somebody's getting engaged. All of the ladies are looking, quite lovely, and they're sitting down. And then what comes out is basically that Mia called Ashley a gold digger. And I thought
Well,
it was so.
Wendy brought it to the table.
Oh my gosh! Like, oh, I mean,
Wendy
no,
clocked in.
no warning, no nothing. Just spill all the girl. Like, dang, nothing I say is private, is it? No. And I will say that to Mia's great credit is she was like, yeah, I said that. All shocked faces, and she's like, yeah, I said that. And she defends that she didn't marry Gordon for money. In the asides, we have Ashley saying, that Mia is probably jealous because she tried to marry Gordon for money, but it ain't work out, and she's jealous of her. But I think the real true gem of this is
But
the actual deets from Ashley about what
uh,
they share and what they do not share.
okay, because I was a little confused because Ashley said they both contribute to the children.
Uh-huh. Okay.
She don't
But
have
then
a
she
credit
said,
card,
but she
but
got a credit
she
card that
got a
she
credit
can't
card.
use. Yeah, but she don't use it, but she got it, but she don't use it
But
except
she
for
do use it for the food and Uber Eats And she does have a car in which Michael Darby bought. And she does receive child support.
Child, I was like, girl, get out of here. That's why you ain't gonna do. I mean, and when they do get divorced, you get a lump sum.
So yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why. I feel like Michael does his part, and I feel like what's wrong with Ashley being like my soon-to-be ex-husband does his part. However, I'm a single mother. Like I don't know. Like
I
is
just think that he gonna stop doing parts if they get divorced. So that's what I think it is. I mean, like the parts ain't gonna get parted no more. If they get divorced. So I think that's really, and I think in the last episode, didn't she admit that? She said, there is a little bit of financial insecurity that happens, so I don't know. It wasn't a big shocker. I think old girl was trying to be messy because she had that little piece of tidbit information of what Mia actually said. So she was trying to stir it up again, honey.
yeah. And then we get to the conversation where Robin asks Karen, like, if you're so focused on your health, like, why not actually get a trainer that's actually a trainer? Because Vernon is not a trainer.
It's not okay.
And Karen essentially says it's her life. She gonna do what she want to do. It's all about her building up to being healthy to then be able to start working out with a trainer. But
Mm-mm.
I feel like on multiple times this episode, Karen has said she wants to work her inner thighs.
She is concentrating on building muscle in her inner thigh region. Best to her. And the ladies have heard this so many times that it becomes a refrain and a chorus. And I love the spontaneous song. Everybody has got the message. She wants to build. She want to work her inner thighs. Okay, honey.
Okay. Then we get clips of Karen's other trainer who was an attractive man prior. So listen, but I ain't mad because if I get a personal trainer, I want my personal trainer to be attractive. I want I
Well,
want
my
to have
personal trainer is very attractive, so I do understand.
yeah, like if I'm gonna have to be getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning, like let it be worth something. So
My husband is my personal trainer. We just, had a workout session on Friday. He loves it. I love it. So I'm with Karen. Get you an attractive personal trainer
so bottom line is Karen
so
wants
you can
her
work your inner thighs.
inner thighs. I'm like, girl, all you gotta do is go to Planet Fitness and get on that little thing and just but
Look,
listen,
you could get you with one of them 1980s thigh masters,
right? Them little
90s thigh masters. Look, girl, if you want to work on them inner thighs. And I just thought that was such just a strange area, like inner thighs, because you want everybody to be like, oh, look at her inner thighs, how perfect.
right.
Like not like it's your biceps or something like that. So, but look, that's why she's the grand dame because she brings it. I mean, they make a whole song out of the fact that she wants to work her inner thighs out, and I love it. This is it's just weird, and I love her for sharing things like that. It's like also when she talk about controlling the tongue and all that other kind of stuff. So, like,
Yes, when she taught the girls how she kissed Ray, I said, "Oh, listen, but listen, the grand dame is always clocked in." Next week, it looks like Shasha brings back her crab boil. I feel like we had the crab boil season one where Charisse kicked Giselle out of her home, or it might have
oh,
been Monique. It might have been Monique that had the crab boil, but I'm excited to see Shasha, and we're getting one step closer to the season finale. This has been a very interesting season to cover,
mm-hmm.
say the less. But we will be back next week covering episode 16. This has been your Purple Pants Podcast, Real Housewives of Potomac recap.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.